when I ran my Uptown Poetry group, me, my wife Jessica, a fellow named Don Moss, and Bruce Ariel. There are four great poets right there, totally different from each other. There were other poets that I knew that came there. There's a fellow named Art Durkee, who's one of the most broadly talented artists. He was talented even beyond poetry. There was a few other people, a fellow named Robert, a fellow named Dave, and a handful of other people. In the 200 meetings that we had over an 8-year period, I mean, there was more great poetry, even or about to be great poetry, if they just worked on it a little bit more, than probably has been produced in the last 50 years in all the MFA classes around this goddamn country, if not the world. Because you have to be critical, you have to be able to say negative, and you have to be able to shrug it off. I would welcome, oftentimes, negative criticism, because most negative criticism, like most positive criticism, is bad criticism. People will criticize something negatively that's great. And if I know, for example, that this person, this guy, if he doesn't like it or has an adverse reaction to it, I know I'm on the right path, kind of thing. And so when you try to protect your feelings, you're ultimately screwing yourself, because your work is going to suffer. I mean, even if you believe that the other person is wrong, well, so what? Yes, and even if they might be a dick. I think I mentioned when we spoke the first time about the woman in the Custer poem, who just made an offhanded remark that made that from a very good poem that was just missing one thing, to sort of like Rubik's cubing it and putting it in the right configuration and making it a great thing. But you have to be able to absent yourself from any personal emotions. And a lot of people simply can't do that, and they suffer for it. And ultimately, the other artists, or the would-be readers of those artists, or engagers of the art, suffer from it as well, because the potential for something great that might move them even more into the arts is gone, because that artist couldn't take a good piece of negative criticism. There's negative criticism, there's positive criticism, bad criticism, good criticism, and you can pair them off in either way.